Hey everyone, welcome to SlipjointSawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Real Steel knife, and this one was kindly sent to the channel by Real Steel themselves. So just a quick disclaimer, even though this was provided to me by Real Steel, it won't affect my review. It'll be a complete impartial and honest review. I'll tell you things I don't like, things I do like, and I did make that clear to Real Steel when I got the knife from them, and they did still send it along. So we'll start off taking a look at the packaging to start with. So you can see it comes in this nice sort of silver Real Steel box. Pretty standard box for Real Steel knives. It has this sort of like, almost like wood grain or like brushed steel finish on the background. See the Real Steel logo just there, and again Real Steel. Plain this side, plain on the back, and then the Real Steel logo again here. And as you can see from the logo, this is the H6 Plus, and this is a frame lock knife. And you can see the stock number for that is 7788. So inside the box, really well packaged. I do like how Real Steel send their knives out. You get this little slip here from Real Steel themselves. The QR code there you can scan, and it does give a bit of information about maintenance, things like that. And then there's all the different parts to, you know, how you would take the knife apart. So you've got slip joint, slide lock, back lock, button lock, liner lock, and then of course the frame lock, which is what we've got here. And then along with that, there's just a little card there with the specs of the knife. So I'll just hold it up there and you can pause if you want to take a little look. And then inside the box, it comes wrapped in this really nice Real Steel microfiber cloth, and this is a pretty standard affair with all of their knives. So as you probably know from my channel, I'm a big fan of Real Steel. I probably have about 15 of their knives so far, a lot of them Lunas, bit of a Luna nut, but you can see it's stamped there with their logo and Real Steel. Nice sort of finishing touch there when you receive the knife. So I'll just pop this to one side. So this is the knife we're looking at today. This is the Real Steel H6 Plus. You can see it's got this really nice grippy G10 on the front here. Nice milled off attachments here. You do have a lanyard tube. You can see it's not an open design for a frame lock knife. You do have this really nice sort of ridged back spacer. Really well put together. So you can see this, the front of the knife is G10, and then the back is the steel frame lock. You see you have dual thumb studs there, and you have a pocket clip. Unfortunately, it's not deep carry, one of the downsides to this knife, and again the screws aren't recessed, so that's something I would like them to take a look at. Maybe put recessed screws in there, just so you've got a bit more room to get your pocket in, because it does get quite narrow when you get to the screws. And I would always like to see a deep carry pocket clip, just something for the UK. Even though it's not a UK legal knife, on any sort of knife I would carry, if it's going to have a pocket clip, I'd really like to see a deep carry clip. But you can see here it has two T6 screws at the back for the hardware, a T8 for the pivot, and then this sort of little lock over travel stop here has got a T6 in it as well. So we'll take a look at the blade, and you can open this, you can flick it out. Nice sort of flick out action on this. You can also middle finger flick it out. It opens really nicely, nice snap on the open. You can see you have this wonderful sort of drop point blade with swedging on the top, and it is sort of like a satin sort of stone washed finish. You do have some billboard in there, the Real Steel logo, and then on the back you have the name, which is the H6 Plus, and the blade steel, which is 14C28N. And back to what I was saying about this over travel stop and lock. So what this does, it stops the frame lock opening too far, so you don't lose any of the tension on the lock, which is nice. There's a little, can't really see it in there, but there's a little flat corner here which stops when it hits this thing here. You know, it keeps the lock nice and tight, stops you from wearing the lock out. And then another unique feature about it, I've seen on a couple of other knives, if you slide this forward, it does sort of make it into a kind of a fixed blade. It stops the frame lock from sliding over, so there you can have a really confident work knife. Do like the handle shape on this as well. I like how you can choke right up here, and you do have a guard there from sliding onto the blade, as well as this really secure jimping. Similar to the jimping they do on the Real Steel Luna, but underneath the blade. It's not aggressive, but it sticks up enough that the ridges in your finger really do want a grip to it, and it stops you sliding forward. Really comfortable in hand. It's a nice ergonomic handle. Don't feel the pocket clip at all when it's in my hand. In left hand you can feel it in your fingers, but it's not uncomfortable at all. Unfortunately though, this is a right side tip up carry only. There's no sort of ambidextrous on this at all. You do have this nice sort of matte strike frame lock here. Gives you a nice bit of grip without being uncomfortable to unlock the blade, and it does drop down nicely. And what I do like about it as well, when it drops down, this part of the tang here, this unsharpened part, it just stops on your nail and stops the blade whacking into you. So it stops like that, and the blade's not hitting into you at all. And then a couple of nice shakes down and it goes down to the locked position. So I will be carrying this on a daily basis and using it around my property, all my sort of everyday tasks, cutting wood, things like that. And I will put it to the test, as I would like to know what their 14C 28N stands up like. Will it need to be sharpened in the course of a week, 2 weeks? Will stropping it every day just do the job for that? But I actually do have another H6, which is a liner lock, which I'll grab out now. We're just do a little comparison between the two. So this is the normal H6, and this was one off their website as a special design, as it has the blue carbon fibre. Don't know if you can see that in there. Again, exactly the same blade steel, but this one does offer, because it's carbon fibre on the back, you have right hand tip up or tip down carry, but unfortunately still no left hand carry. And then you can see the liner lock just in there. A couple of things different as well is the dimensions of this knife. You can see the frame lock is quite a lot thinner and does make for a bit more of a slender carry. See if I can get that a bit closer to the camera so you can see that. See, it's a good couple of mils slimmer. Weight is about the same, even though this is got a full steel side, because this does have steel liners in there. Everything else pretty much identical to the design. Two very well designed knives, definitely a work knife, one I'll definitely be using. So we'll just take a look at some lengths and things of the blades. So on this you have, obviously the steel is the Sandvik 14C 28N. You do have a full blade length of 3.74 inches. A really sort of decent, I'd say it's at least a 3mm blade stock, so you know you're going to be able to get some tough jobs done with this without any sort of worrying about the blade breaking. It is a G10 backspacer and handle. And then we've got an overall weight of about 4.6 ounces. So there we go, guys. That is my first impressions of the Real Steel H6 Plus. Big shout out to Real Steel for sending this over to the channel. I really do appreciate you guys. Once again, everyone that watched the video, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to ring the like bell, ring the bell for notifications, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.